Bark, bark.
Mathman, your mission is to decide if the forthcoming statements are true or false. If a statement is true, eat the letter T. If it is false, eat the letter F. You will have until the count of 7 to make your decision. And beware the surreptitious Mr. Glitch.
Nice to be back for another season.
He will cause mischief if you are wrong.
Mathman, 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 Mathman.
Yeah.
True or false? You need math only in jobs where you handle money, such as being a banker.
Yeah, a banker or a mathman. That's about it.
What? That's absurd. How about being a scuba diver?
Good point.
Or a choreographer?
I hadn't thought of that.
Or an airplane pilot?
I suppose you would, wouldn't you?
Use math in all these jobs. It's false.
Why am I in this business?
Woohoo!
Mathman, 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 Mathman.
Use your noodle.
Mathman, 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 Mathman.
Nice.
True or false? You don't use math outside of school.
I never use math.
Of course you use math outside of school. How about planning a meal?
Yeah.
Or sewing a dress?
Yeah.
Or estimating how long it will take me to get home?
Yeah.
Or counting it?
Up to 7.
What?
You ran out of time with all that preaching, Mathy. Ha ha!
But I was right.
So, you didn't say false.
Gotta go.
Mathman, 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 Mathman,
Yes. Play by the rules, get eaten by the rules.
These two contestants, Sean Cronin and Sharifa Monteith, will separate mathematical fact from fiction. Welcome to Square One Challenge. I'm Reggie Catney, and now let's meet the host of our show, Larry Cedar.
Hello,
What's
hello.
up, Larry?
How you doing, Red? Good to see you, guy.
Nice to see you.
All right, take it easy. Welcome to Square One Challenge. We have some great questions for you today. It's going to be a really super game, and we have some fabulous contestants. Welcome to Sharifa and Sean. It's good to have you here. All right, you know how we play the game, right? We're going to start you off each with 100 points. Boom, there they are. Let's get right to the first question. Chris has in front of him a tower made up of blocks like this one. All right? Here's the question. How many blocks altogether in that tower? There's your first question for the day, and now for some answers to that question, let's go to our guests from Square One TV, Arthur Howard and Louisa Lishin. Welcome. Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Louisa, what do you think? How many blocks make up that tower?
Okay, well, I see 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 blocks. 16 blocks.
Thank you very much. Louisa says 16 blocks. Arthur, what do you think?
Some of the blocks must be hidden by other blocks. I think there are 30 blocks.
Thank you very much. Arthur says 30. Louisa says 16. It's up to you to decide who's telling the truth, who's bluffing. Sometimes they both tell the truth. Sometimes they both bluff. You'll get 25 points for each correct decision. Think about it and write down your decision. How many blocks in the tower? Who's telling the truth? Who's bluffing? Time's up. Sean, what did you decide?
Well, I think that Louisa is bluffing and Arthur is telling the truth.
You think Louisa, who said 16 blocks, is bluffing, and Arthur, who said 30 blocks, is telling the truth. Let's see. Sharifa, what did you decide?
Well, I agree with Sean. I think that Louisa is bluffing and Arthur is telling the truth.
You agree. Louisa, bluffing. Arthur, telling the truth. Let's find out for our first question of the day how you did. Will the truth tellers please stand? Arthur was indeed telling the truth and Louisa was bluffing. Arthur, could you please explain your answer?
Sure. You see, each layer has a square number of blocks. You just couldn't see all of them. An easy way to add is 16 plus 4 is 20, plus 9 plus 1 equals 30.
Very good. Thank you, Arthur. Let's see how you did on our first question. Sean, correct about Louisa and Arthur, 50 points, a total of 150. Great start. Sharifa, also correct about both players, 50 points, a total of 150. Excellent start. We have a tie game going into our second question. Now, this is a video question, so pay close attention to the monitor. Here we have a statue of little Mister Beasley. There he is on your left. Now, the statue is 12 centimeters wide at the bottom and 40 centimeters tall. Now, a scaled-up version of Beasley is hidden behind that curtain to the right there. It is in proportion. It is not distorted. But this bigger Beasley is 36 centimeters wide. Now, how high is it? The original statue is 12 centimeters wide by 40 centimeters tall. The scaled-up version, in proportion, not distorted, is 36 centimeters wide. How high is it? Louisa, what do you think?
To get from 12 to 36, multiply by 3. If you multiply 40 by 3, you get 120. So it's 120 centimeters tall. That's what I think.
120. Thank you, Louisa. Arthur, what do you think?
The smaller Beasley is 40 centimeters high and 12 centimeters wide, but he is 28 centimeters higher than he is wide. So the bigger statue is 36 plus 28 centimeters tall, 64 centimeters.
Arthur says 64 centimeters tall. Louisa says 120. Think about it. Write down your decision. Time's up. Sean, what did you decide?
I think that Louisa is telling the truth and Arthur is bluffing.
You think Louisa, who said 120 centimeters tall, is telling the truth, and Arthur, who said 64 centimeters tall, is bluffing. Thank you. Sharifa.
I think Louisa's bluffing and Arthur is bluffing.
You think that they are both bluffing. All right, let's find out who's right. For the second round question, will the truth tellers please stand? Louisa was telling the truth, and Arthur was bluffing. Louisa, would you like to explain your answer?
Sure. The big Beasley is 3 times as wide as the small Beasley. To be in proportion, the big Beasley has to be 3 times as high as the small one. 3 times 40 is 120. If the big statue had the dimensions Arthur suggested, 36 centimeters by 64 centimeters, it would look like this.
Thank you very much for that explanation. Let's see how you did, Sean and Sharifa. Sean, you were correct about Louisa and Arthur. You get 50 points for a total of 200 points. Good job. Sharifa, you were correct about Arthur only, but you will get 25 points for a total of 175. Very good job. It's a very close game, but here's your chance to seal a win or pull from behind. This is the challenge round. Now, in the challenge round, you can bet some or all of your points. You have 200 points. You have 175 points. This challenge round question deals with the subject of percentages. This question deals with percentages. So you might want to think about that now as you decide how much you want to bet and write that amount down on your wager board. All right, you've written down your wagers. I would like to tell you, however, that in the challenge round, to win, you must be correct about both Arthur and Louisa. Well, here's the challenge round question. Good luck. Chris is showing you a diagram. There are some tennis shoes. Your generous Uncle Willie is going to give you money to buy new sneakers. But he's a tricky fellow, and he says that he'll give you 60% of $80 or 80% of $60. Here's the challenge round question. Which is the greater amount? 60% of 80 or 80% of 60? Louisa, what do you think?
Well, guys, 80% is a bigger percentage, so 80% of 60 is greater.
Okay, thank you very much. Arthur?
No, 80 is bigger than 60, so when you take a percentage of 80, you get a bigger number. 60% of 80 is bigger.
Thank you, Arthur and Louisa. Think about it and write down your decisions. All right, you've had time to lock in your decisions. Sean, what did you decide?
I think that Louisa is bluffing and Arthur is telling the truth.
You think that Louisa, who said 80% of 60 is greater, is bluffing, and Arthur, who said 60% of 80 is greater, is telling the truth. Thank you. Sharifa?
Well, I think that Louisa is telling the truth and Arthur is bluffing.
Oh, just the opposite of Sean. You think Louisa is telling the truth and Arthur is bluffing. All right, for the challenge round, let's find out how you did. Will the truth tellers please stand? Actually, they were both bluffing, and let me explain to you why. 60% of $80 is $48. 80% of $60 is also $48. The same would be true for any two numbers. Let's say you pick 13 and 72. 72% of 13 is the same as 13% of 72. Either way, it's a little bit more than 9. Tough question. Let's see how you did. Now remember, you had to be correct about both players to win this round. Sean, you were unfortunately only correct about Louisa. Let's see how much you wagered. Go ahead and tell us.
I wagered 50 points.
You wagered 50 points. We'll have to subtract that from your score, leaving you a total of 150. Still a good score. Sharifa, you were only correct about Arthur. How much did you wager?
I bet 75 points.
75 points subtracted from your score leaves you with a total of 100 points, making Sean our grand prize winner. Congratulations. Fabulous game. You guys played very, very well. I must congratulate you both. Now, Sharifa, as our runner-up, you get this really cool Sport Jester gym bag. You're really going to like it. And the all-natural laser hologram calculator. It's just beautiful. Sean, as our grand prize winner, you get a Square One TV jacket. You also get some sneakers. You get a gift certificate for that. And the still waterproof Square One wristwatch. So congratulations to you both. Thanks for playing. You did a great job. We'll see you next time on Square One Challenge.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Monday, 6:43 p.m. in New York, and Gothamites were scurrying off to their power suppers. In Monterey, California, where I was, it was 3 hours earlier. The sea otters were doing some scurrying of their own, as were the tourists on Fisherman's Wharf, the golfers on Pebble Beach, and the fish fans at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. A beautiful place, but I was there on serious business with my partner, George Franklin. The captain is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician. Our week got off to a rollicking start when we received a message from our California Mathnet chief.
Of course. Put him on, Captain Greco. Thad Green is on the phone.
It had been a while since we had spoken with our mentor, who was, as usual, all business.
I went to the Museum of Modern Art this weekend.
I don't care, George. I've got a job for you, too.
What's up, Chief?
Remember the case of the Despair Diamond?
The Despair Diamond was a valuable gem which had been given to charity. It had a superstition attached to it that whoever possessed it had a lot of bad luck. We knew that was ridiculous, but a few hours later, we found ourselves on a plane bound for San Francisco, and then a short commuter flight to our destination, Monterey, California.
What did you get from the facts from Chief Green?
Well, there have been a number of jewelry heists in the area over the past few months.
Right, and the chief is pretty sure who done it.
Right. An international playboy named... What was it?
Archie Leach.
Ah, yes. Archie Leach.
For months, he's been in, around, or about every la-di-da society affair when precious jewelry was stolen.
And the police are sure he's the thief, but they can't prove it.
We were met at the Monterey airport by the head of the local police, Sheriff Mooney Rooney. He drove us to our hotel, waited for us to change clothes, and dropped us off at a fashionable estate where a preview of the charity event was taking place. To avoid suspicion, we dressed as normal millionaires and sallied forth into Northern California society. Our hostess, Lady Esther Astor Astute, introduced us to the infamous suspect.
Oh, I want you to meet some old friends, Nick and Nora Chuck of the Omaha Chucks. This is Archibald Leach.
Archie proved to be not without charm. He was a proud ne'er-do-well who excused himself early and left the party.
Hello, Mr. Leach.
Oh, darling, I fear I must be going.
No.
Shortly thereafter...
Coming from over there, George.
Outside.
I can't believe it.
Are you okay?
Here.
Pat! Guess what?
I don't want to guess, George. Why don't you just tell me?
Okay, but I bet you would never would have guessed. The Despair Diamond has been stolen.
Strange place to keep that. It is?
You don't normally keep it there?
Keep it there. I don't even know what it is.
It's a trash can, Lady Astute.
A what?
A trash can. Place where people keep trash.
Why in heaven's name would anyone want to keep trash? Well, well, well.
Oh, he's come back to murder us in our beds.
It's just a tape recording of gunshots, Lady Astute.
You know what I think? I said, you know what I think?
No.
No, what
do you think?
I think whoever stole the diamond is escaping, and he's doing it in a motorboat.
Motorboat? Archie Leach came by motorboat.
Let's get the sheriff, Rooney.
The diamond's been stolen.
Oh, no! Come on.
Let's hightail it to the Coast Guard station. We haven't got much time.
Right.
Sheriff, can you call the Coast Guard by radio?
You bet. Coast Guard Group, this is Sheriff Rooney. Do you read?
Sheriff Rooney, this is Coast Guard Group Monterey. I'll read you loud and clear. Go ahead.
I have a suspect fleeing the Astute Estate by boat. Request assistance. Over.
Sheriff, what does the boat look like and what direction was it headed?
Coast Guard, it's an orange and black 12-foot rubber raft headed northwest.
Roger, Sheriff. We'll send a boat to pursue and a chopper to reconnoiter. We'll keep you advised. Out.
How long will it take to spot him, Sheriff?
Well, not very long. That chopper's probably pretty close to where Archie should be right now.
Group Chopper 313, have the suspect boat in sight. The advised boat has just flipped over. One person is in the water. Over. Roger, Chopper. Maintain your station. We're dispatching rescue vessels. Say the position of the boat. Over. East of Point Pinos. Over. Roger. 41234, we have an emergency. Overturned boat, person or persons in the water east of Point Pinos. Initiate rescue immediately.
Roger, Group.
The crew of a backup boat was waiting to take us to the scene as we pulled up to the Coast Guard station. The rescue boat was already on its way.
Are you sure you all want to come?
We're old salt, Sheriff.
Yeah, well, if that boat belongs to who I think it belongs to.
Archie Leach?
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be undercover, folks?
Good point. You'll wonder why we're aboard.
We'll stay out of sight, Sheriff.
Good idea.
Well, 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 Sheriff Rooney, how are you? Oh, I haven't seen you since...
Since the last jewel robbery?
That long, eh?
Yeah, I hope you don't mind.
Oh, not in the least. Be my guest.
Turn around. Now you're clean.
Of course I'm clean. I've been bobbing in that bay for what seems like hours.
Oh, you hurry up with those pictures. Come on.
Oh. Sheriff, would you be a dear and let me use your radio?
My radio? For what?
I'd like to call a cab.
Get one over yonder.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Would you stop that?
Nothing?
Nothing. As usual, nothing. Yeah, my men are checking over the boat, but they won't find it, it's my guess.
Maybe something turned up at the Esther Astute estate.
Yeah, well, I'll radio over. Getting about mealtime. They'll be checking everything out, including the stable.
Good idea. See what the boys in the tack room will have.
Yeah.
You know, Pard, if that rock isn't at the Esther Astute estate, and it isn't on the boat, and Archie doesn't have it, maybe Davy Jones has got it.
Yeah, in his locker.
Would be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Uh-huh. A very wet haystack.
Next morning found me and my partner back on the job. Sheriff Mooney Rooney and his men found no trace of the diamond on the boat or at the Esther Astute estate. The hypothesis we were working on was Archie swiped the gem during the phony gunfight, escaped by boat, and when the boat flipped, the precious diamond was lost overboard. But where? We decided to use an age-old mathematical method called triangulation in order to find the approximate location of the boat when it flipped over. George got a map of Monterey Bay, and after interviewing a number of locals, we finally found someone who saw the boat go over.
Yeah, I did. It was right there.
And you were standing right here on this scenic point?
Uh-huh, and the boat was exactly lined up with that bell.
Thank you. You've been a big help.
Come on, Chrissy, we've got to go. I have to go now.
George took our chart of Monterey Harbor and drew a line from the scenic point where we were standing through the bell just offshore.
Now, we need another person who has seen the accident from another angle.
Right. And if we find that someone, we draw a second line.
Uh-huh. And where that line crosses this line, we know.
Approximately where the boat capsized.
Let's go, Pard.
We tried to find another witness to the accident to get our second fix for our triangulation. The first man we talked to hadn't seen it at all. The next two men we talked to were even less helpful. Perhaps a walk on the beach would clear our heads.
Sir. Oh, isn't it? Makes a man glad to be alive.
You live around here?
Oh, not far, up Chicanery Road.
Oh, sure. That's near Eden Street.
Just east of Eden.
I'm Pat Tuesday.
She means Nora Chuck. I'm Nick Chuck.
Oh, I'm John Steenbeck.
Gee, John Steenbeck. That name sounds familiar.
Well, it should. I was in the film equipment business for years.
Mr. Steenbeck, you didn't perchance see a boat flip over on the bay yesterday, did you?
I wouldn't have if it hadn't been for old Jode.
Old Jode?
My dog, Joe. He saw it and barked, and I looked up just as the boat was swamped over.
Do you remember where you were? I mean, exactly?
Oh, yes, I do indeed. We were at the lifeguard station. Jode was using it, and it was on a direct line from the end of that log through the lifeguard station out to the boat. Hey, show me.
We've got our location, Pat.
I thought you said her name was Nora.
It is. Sometimes I call her Pat when I get tired of names that start with N.
Thank you, sir. We had located the spot on the map where we figured the boat had tipped over. We decided to dust off our scuba gear, rent a boat, and take a dive to try and find the Despair Diamond. The captain of the boat and his modern electronics gave us hope. George explained to the captain how we used triangulation to determine where the diamond was lost. The captain transferred our point to a map that would give him exact latitude and longitude coordinates.
All right, let's plug those coordinates now into the Loran.
He then entered these coordinates into the Loran, a shipboard computer that can calculate distance and direction from the boat's current location to the location entered.
And all we need to do is turn the boat around and go directly to it.
Now all we had to do was find the spot in real life.